is real. Listen.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Paranormal Ripples. I'm Ray, and this is Secrets of the Stars, episode number 35. Would you believe? This is like my longest running show at the minute, and because there's information daily about stuff. And I'm joined again by Daniel.
Hi, what's up?
And tonight's episode is about Mars again. We've seem to be having information daily coming out about Mars. So there's bound to be something going to be shown in them in like later or sooner or later about alien life or Martian life up there. And this episode is about an image that was circulating recently about the possibility of a secret alien base or underground alien base on the Red Planet. I'll let Daniel explain a little bit more because he's been queuing up with this video and I've only watched it briefly. So
Actually, I didn't watch it yet, so I'm not really.
You ain't watched it yet, all right? Well, basically, they're saying that this is I'll go through a little gist of it. Basically, what they say this guys was saying. I'll put a video in the comments section in the description now while I'm thinking of it. This is basically what he was saying was that this image, and I'll show it to you, everyone. Is basically could be proof of an ancient alien like Martian base or something of that accord. So the YouTube videos in the description now for everyone who wants to go watch it. But yeah, I'll show you the like image now while I've got a second. Here we are. Present. This is the image in question, everyone. Right here. And as you can see, this is the color image, which I'm going to just get up if I can. There you go. What's still this?
Yeah, what is that?
And why hasn't NASA been explaining it to us like, oh, there's something here, by the way? Let's have a look through, look. And go through the different layers and maybe some might show up here for us. Like, look at that. Notice how I'm changing the base layer and now things are changing on the image, everyone. Is it plausible that there is a look? There's another thing. Heat signature. There's heat signature from obviously from the planet, but you look cold spot there, hot spot there, and it's right in the middle of it. Could there be a secret alien base on Mars? Yes, there could be.
Yeah, it would have to be underneath it though.
That's what I was just going to say. That'd have to be underneath the, because I couldn't see them living on the surface. No way could I see them living on the surface. Don't worry, I don't think they're like ice warriors, like the Doctor Who Martian race. But there again, you never know. They could be. We don't know what Martians, what they're like. What if they're suited to cold temperatures or hot temperatures, or you know. All we know is that if they are there, they're Martians. So you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So like, look at that. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter Context Camera. That's what picked it up. And it's north of Asimov Crater. And for you that don't know Asimov Crater, there's an impact crater, see? That was it, there you go. And was named after Isaac Asimov, an American biochemist. The name was adopted in 2009. So, if there is Martians up there, here's a question for you, Daniel. There is Martians up there. What climate do you think they're suited to? Cold or hot?
I don't know. Maybe they can adapt to all climates.
Well, like us, in a way.
Yeah.
Could be. And that's a question for everyone in the comments as well. What climate do you think they are? This is an interesting discovery, though. If there is a underground alien base, you know, that could potentially open up a lot of questions for us, basically, in regards to, do we go and make contact there, or do we go and have a look? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if we went there and had a look at it, for instance? Sakes? That would be pretty interesting. And yeah, this is the video. I'm not going to play it, but this is the video. Secure Team 10 posted it, everyone. So another thing about an underground alien base on Mars. Could you imagine if we mess it up though, and we do go up there to talk to them? Oh, here you go, you know. And then they look at us and they're like, "Yeah, we know what you are, or you are. You messed us over loads of times in your past," and we're like, "What do you mean?" But if you notice though, that's what I was gonna say, and I didn't mention it because The woman who originally shared it was called Jean. She's pretty. She said it's like a tanker, and I can see how she thinks looks like a tanker because look at it.
Yeah.
And there is a tanker. What is it storing? Is it storing the UFO and the UFO under there, or is it storing fuel that they need, or gases, or? That is an interesting question as well. You know, what would you need a tanker for? We need it on this we need it on Earth obviously for fuel and transporting fuels and that across the countries and that obviously to gas stations and to power plants and everything. But what do they need it for? I wonder. The only other answer I have is like the UFOs related to UFOs. This is their fuel and they need it for the UFO.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads to another question is, have any of the UFOs that have been spotted coming to Earth been based here? This then opens up another raft of questions like, how many UFOs do Mars have?
Yeah.
You see what I mean, guys? This topic gives you questions and branching topics. Like, we know say that is a tanker, but it's not got nothing, and it's just coincidence.
Yeah.
Like I say, there's nothing that's not coincidental about that. That's the shape of a tanker. Look, and even said, look, even here on the color one, it's got a different color there. Look.
Yeah, it does.
That one has a different color. The one further back. The one that's showing, and that one has normal, but this one has a different color. I wonder what Pop would say.
Yeah, me too.
He'd probably be all over this like a rash, knowing him. He'd be like, this is what I've been telling you. To be honest, though, if I'm looking at this like this, I can see that they visited us loads of times, Martians, and we've not realised.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, if this is a fuel thing for UFOs, everyone, and these are Martian UFOs that we're talking about. They're closer to us than the Greys are and Palladians and all that. So it's not beyond a distinct possibility that Mars has come to Earth more than them two races over the years. Because we have different UFO shapes and like stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
So how many of them are Greys, which have come to see us? How many are Palladians? And how many are Martians? Because we don't like, to the naked eye, we just see a UFO. But they're all different they're like cars from the golden era of cars. I'm not the cars of today because they all look the same. But the cars when you knew that they were distinct brands, and you know, when you knew a Ford was a Ford and not the back of a blooming Renault, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is the only thing I can think of. It makes sense that Mars has come to seeing us more, being our next planet, basically. What do you think?
Yeah, I do think so too.
And there's obviously all that talk at the minute about the water on Mars. And then we've also seen this. Oh, Elon Musk is talking again, is he? But no.
Yeah.
Here we go. Strange meteorites have been traced to their source craters on Mars. Mars rocks that were blasted off the surface of the red planet millions of years ago have been traced back to craters where they originated, which could transform our understanding of Mars volcanism and evolution. 6 Martian meteorites have been traced back to the craters where they were ejected from on Mars millions of years ago. So they've discovered that now. So we're learning more and more about Mars. One of these days, we're gonna bump into something on Mars, and we're gonna be like, "Whoa!" Scientists propose idea to warm Mars up. Mars will be visible tonight. It's visible every night, I feel. Oh yeah, there's the liquid water stuff I was telling you about the other day. But again, could that tanker be the ocean?
Yeah. What? The ocean, right?
Yeah, the underground water reservoir that they're talking about. Could it be one of like a few over the planet, you know? Mars could have enough water stored underground to cover the planet's surface. Because that's another thing. The rocks from Mars' Jezero crater, which likely predate life on Earth, contain signs of water. And if you don't know, the Jezero crater is one of the green craters on Mars, which is crazy. There it is. Nope. So the rocks from there predate Earth and contain water. That's why I think that Mars has got bigger say in the history of Earth than people want to let on.
Nice.
Because I think that Mars, I don't care what people say. Like in the science world, obviously, this is I care what you my scholars think, because I'd love to hear your views. But the scientists that say that Mars didn't play a part in history of Earth or anything, I'm going to say it has. Because how can you tell me that there's things on Earth that have left impact, or rocks on Mars, I should say, not on Earth, rocks on Mars that predate Earth, and yet Mars is the 4th planet in the solar system. When the Big Bang was supposed to, you're going through the religious side now. The Big Bang and the science side with all that. If you say that the Big Bang created the universe, which is a scientific point of view, then that means that all planets should have been aging and been around at the same time. Correct? So why is there rocks on Mars predating Earth? If we were all created at the same time. Like, I ain't got an answer for that. Have you, mate? I ain't got an answer for that at all. No, you, mate. Hang on, Daniel, just walk about. 2 seconds, everyone. I'll ask him when he gets back.
Wait, what did you say?
I said, right, okay, I asked something you got miles away. I said, so the scientific point of view has always been the Big Bang created the universe, hasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. I think the Big Bang created the universe.
Right. All right. So I'm going to ask you this, and then you can try and give me an answer. So they say that the Big Bang created the universe, which you. So we all got created at the same time, correct? All the planets were created at the same time because of the Big Bang.
Yeah.
So then, why is there rocks on Mars that predate Earth if we were all created at the same time?
That's a good question. Wow. It just kind of brings more evidence to, like, maybe Mars, there was life on Mars at one point.
Could
be.
You
know those theories that say there was like a nuclear war that destroyed everything and killed everybody, and then life came to, maybe there were survivors and they came to Earth and they started life on Earth.
And there's also that theory about Tiamat, that Mars is actually its moon.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that gets me. If they say that Big Bang created the universe and we were all created at the same time, which the Big Bang would do, then you got this crater where the rocks were found for the water traces. But then they've been predated. They've looked at it and it's predates, all the rocks there predate Earth, and yet they have water on them. So if we were all created at the same time, how comes that has happened? Something doesn't add up there with the Big Bang now. They basically contradicted the Big Bang theory.
Yeah.
You're going to have to look at how the universe was made again. Because you're basically saying now the Big Bang basically did happen, but not the way we think it has. Because this crater is evidence that rocks have been on there since before we were around on this planet. And before this planet was even formed. So Mars is older than we are.
Yeah.
Which is obviously I think it's true anyway. But that just proves it. So has it gone like Neptune, well, Pluto at the time? Was it Pluto, Neptune, Uranus built that way, and then we were flown? Or was it like they said, we didn't exist, Tiamat was destroyed and Mars was its moon. Mars then became a planet for the Tiamat survivors. And then the Earth has been newly formed somehow. Because if we talked about it a few weeks back, everyone, or last week or the week before, where I got a diagram up, and when we talk about Billy Carson saying that Venus is not where Venus is, there was another planet, or where Venus is now, it was where Mars was, or something. Well, I said something like that, didn't I? But yeah. Question for you guys to work out and answer in the comments. What do you think is a Big Bang Theory now? What's going to happen to that theory?
I don't know.
I don't. They're going to have to revisit that.
I read something that the universe existed before the Big Bang,
which goes in line. You're looking at it like that, which goes in line with the religious side that God created everything.
Yeah.
And if God created everything, was God a Tiamatian or something, or some nice species, like an alien who had the power to do planets and drag them off from different parts of the universe and place them, It gets into a real kind of messy debate, Because didn't you also say that there's a theory going around that Mars was actually the Garden of Eden?
Yeah, but isn't it weird? Like, the Bible says that Eden was where Israel is right now. So that kind of contradicts the whole theory that it was on Mars.
Yeah, because I've always believed, hang on. Maps, where are we? I've heard a theory that no, I don't want to go to Crater Lake. Boom. I've had a theory. There's a theory where is Israel, and all that. Down here, Jordan and that. So it's Jordan. That's where Petra obviously is. That famous site of a religious site. But I've heard theories that because and there's Iraq, Baghdad, where Babylon was. That famous thing. But I've heard theories now that the Garden of Eden could be in the North Pole area.
Yeah.
And it's saying because they said something about the river or something coming down and into where it was, I believe. Hang on. I'll show you the theory. Hang on. I'll keep the map open. Hang on. Yeah, so don't come at us, religious folk. We're not going to go at your stories, but this is what people are believing. Garden of Eden, North Pole. There you go. William F. Warren and the Search for Eden, the last great explorer. Here we go. There you go. There's the North Pole. At the time. Look. David Livingstone declared while mad with malaria in 1821 that paradise existed at the source of the Nile, which he judged to be in the lake Bangweulu in region of Zambia. Livingstone was not the only one still looking for Eden. This brave new world was turning time-honored beliefs upside down. Evolution was suggesting that man had ascended over time from primates. Enter William Fairfield Warren. Here we go. Distinguished Methodist minister and educator, and the president of Boston University in America. He knew science was going to define the future, but he was unwilling to give up his theology to the new discipline. So, counter-initiatively, Warren looked to Eden. He set about translating the Bible into science. Eden was the one spot on Earth where the biological conditions are the most favorable. Genesis says Eden contains every tree that is pleasant to the eye or good for food, and Warren posited flora and fauna of unimagined vigor and luxuriousness. He took note of a newly discovered fact that millions of years ago, the Earth had been much warmer. He followed the uncovering of fantastic creatures at once familiar and mythical, like the woolly mammoth, the dinosaur, and even the giant sequoia. He knew there was still one blank spot on the world map, a place where nobody had been, and he arrived at the inevitable conclusion that the Garden of Eden is at the North Pole. It made sense, in a way. Both Eden and the Pole had frustratingly resisted attempts to discover and claim them, despite centuries of dangerous expeditions. And that's what he published, basically. The tome positively linked it with academic authority. There are long passages in French, German, and ancient Greek in the footnotes. He drew on his specialty, comparative mythology, which he described as the science of the oldest traditional beliefs and memories of mankind. He knew their great epic folklore of the Hindus, the Celts, the Chinese, and the Persians, and in the 19th century, this was a rare historic body of knowledge. Yeah. So he believed it was in Eden. Eden was in the North Pole. And then, obviously, I don't believe it's in the North Pole, but then if you look at it as well, that's what I was just gonna say. Euphrates, there we go. Here's the river Euphrates, look. This river. Where Babylon is, basically. But that one's all the way, look. All the way, look, see? But that is also Euphrates, if you think about it with from a religious point of view, where they say that what's named in the water waiting to break out. I think it's angels. I think it's angels that are waiting there at the bottom. There you go. The voice tells the angel with a trumpet to release the 4 angels who had been bound in the river Euphrates. These 4 avenging angels raised from the river with their weapons, ready to fulfill their mission of killing a third of the people on Earth. There you go.
Yeah, I heard about this. Yeah, I was on a stream called this guy isn't on YouTube anymore. He's on I think something else. Where YouTubers go now. But
Twitch probably.
Yeah. He talked about like these 4 avenging angels, and they rise from the river Euphrates, and they kill a third of the population. And he talked about like the 3 days of darkness, and like whoever like don't open the door, because if you hear somebody talking, like, let me in, don't open the door, because it's like one of these things, and if you open the door, they'll kill you. It's really creepy. But my question is, how can, if these are if these are like how could water hold them? Right? They're under the river. How can water hold them?
That's the thing. Another thing is, they say that they're bound, and I'm just going to say it now because I went into a bit of detail about it ages ago. So this is the river, obviously, where Babylon is, or was obviously on the river. But you look at the length of the Euphrates. And you could tell me that no one's bothered to even look in it to see if any evidence of this is true.
Yeah.
Because there's even historic ruins found beneath the Euphrates. And then if you look, it says here, then why are two of the rivers very clearly identified with real rivers, the Tigris and Euphrates? Mormons believe that the Garden of Eden was in the Americas. They have no proof, but they believe it. I thought we knew it was in the Fertile Crescent between the Tigris and Euphrates. Garden of Eden. Fertile Crescent. So there's the Tigris.
Yeah.
Like it's just there's the Euphrates, look. So looking at it another way, there's Tigris. Oh, there's the Tigris, and there's the Euphrates. So they're saying that the Garden of Eden was around this area. Mike Jones has an interesting theory video arguing that it was what is in now the Persian Gulf. I'm not going to die on the hill, but he brings receipts. And then this comment was the one that got me. Located at from Genesis 2:10 to 14, a river flows out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it divides and becomes 4 branches. The name of the first is Pishon. It is the one that flows around the old land of Avalar, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. Bdellium and onyx stone are there. The name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one that flows around the old land of Cush. The name of the third river is Tigris, which flows east of Assyria, and the fourth river is the Euphrates. That puts the location as described by the authors or editors of the creation myths in Genesis in modern-day Turkey. So Turkey.
Turkey. Now I'm hungry.
Interesting. Based on the description, the Garden of Eden was located near the headwaters of 4 rivers. 2 of the rivers still exist today. That would have most likely placed the Garden of Eden in what is currently eastern Turkey before it was destroyed in a flood. Interestingly, though, Göbekli Tepe is located not that far south of that area. Yeah, Göbekli Tepe, that's an interesting one. Like, could you imagine? Could you imagine there's all this, like, obviously the Bible and that, and obviously all this story about 4 angels of coming out of Euphrates and that. But these but we've established where Babylon was because of over time, which I'm also going to talk about in another show more in depth. But what gives us the fact that because there's also the thing that I just heard that Atlantis has been found.
Oh yeah,
there's new evidence that Atlantis could be found. Like, hang on, I believe so. News. There you go. Huge Canary Islands discovery as mystery of real life Atlantis could finally be solved. Sunken mountain near the Canary Islands coast might have inspired the legend of Atlantis. Scientists say. Off La Palma. Look at that.
Yeah.
And that is one story I'd love to find out if it's true or not. They could come back and say, yeah, that was bull. I understand, but there you go. Scientists discovered lost islands that sank off the coast of the Canary Islands millions of years ago. So is that where they lost the? Is that where lost Atlantis is? If you don't know where the Canary Islands is, everyone, I'll try and find them for you now. La Palma. There it is. Off the coast here. So yeah. And looking at it from here, that could be an interesting thing that Atlantis could be there. Because the way Greece is, and the Greeks would have to come out this way to go out of the ocean. Because there's no way they could get out. So they'd have to pass Atlantis anyway. They're going on and doing their treks on that. So I could see it being there to be fucked. And that's one of our greatest ever discoveries. If we find that, or if that, what they indeed found is actually Atlantis, because I think it exists 100%. Everyone. Well, obviously, I'm going to go more into detail about the discovery of them islands off Palma. La Palma. Because I think I just showed the wrong area. I just put it in, and yeah, I have. Yeah, this is where they found them, off the coast here, mate. Actually. Right here. There's the Canary Islands down here. And that's where they've made the discovery. So, looking at it like that, you're Greek, if you're from ancient Greece and you had to go and do voyages, you'd have to come all the way out here, past the Gibraltar Strait, and I think you'd see it. You'd see it in all its beauty, wouldn't you, Atlantis, if it was down here? But it's closer to the Sahara Desert, funny enough. The Western Sahara, look. And Atlantis is one of the greatest discoveries that we won't know yet for a while, but you had to have a guess, everyone. Let me know where you think Atlantis is. Where would you say it would be, mate, if you had to have a guess?
I don't know. They said Atlantis was in Antarctica. That's what I heard. One of the things I heard.
Yeah, there's been theories that it's been in Antarctica. There's been a theory that it's near us in the UK. There's been a theory that it's down over here. Because they found that thing in what's the name? Bahamas, didn't they?
Yeah.
That what's the name? We'll call it under the Nassau. Was it? They say was it Nassau?
Mm-hmm.
Because they got Atlantis Beach there in Bahamas, obviously, to make thing. But I think they found something in there. Was it Nassau Road? Yeah, Bohemian Road, that's what I was thinking. Couldn't think of it. I knew it ain't road. But yeah, there's Bohemian Road. They believed that was part of Atlantis.
Yeah.
So if you look at it like that, and where they say they found these Atlantis thing, that would be a massive blooming thing to get from there to there. They'd have to have a massive bridge or something, wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say Atlantis was like right here in the middle. If I had to go with a guess, Atlantis is around about here I'd say I'd say there's Bermuda. I'd say it's about there. Around this area. You know? Around that area. That's why I'm going to say Atlantis is everyone, but obviously we're going to come back to talk about it another time, but that is where I'd say Atlantis is around in the Atlantic Ocean. Because if you're going from Greece, if you're coming out, like I said, and you're doing traveling, yeah, you'd see it down here, obviously, but you would be looking straight ahead. Then I think you'd look more straight ahead when you're doing rowing or doing when you're doing the ship, when you're on a ship, then you'd be looking down to the left of you or to the right of you. You'd be looking more straight ahead, and straight ahead, I'd say, bang, yeah, Atlantis. It would be straight in the middle. Like, I think there's a map as well. That shows that it could show in the middle of the whole. Show in the middle. There you go. No, in the middle, look. Well, I said. But yeah. Let me know where you guys think in the comments. Where you think that is. Let me know what you think about the also about the Mars story we got. Also, yeah, let me know what you think about like the Big Bang Theory. Do you still believe it? Well, let me know what your thoughts are. If science needs to have another look at it. Now they're talking about these rocks being predating Earth. I'd love to hear all your thoughts. Let me know if there's anything else that we should be talking about. Thank you so much for watching. Share the video to anyone you think will enjoy it. Have you got anything else to add, Daniel, before I end?
No, I got nothing.
All right, mate. Just what I ask. Yeah. So love and be kind to you all, to everyone. To be amazing. And yeah, leave your thoughts, because whether it's Mars or Atlantis, one way we're going to find an answer to something one day. And at the moment, it looks like we're going to find Martians on Mars quicker than we're going to find an Atlantis. End of the story. Then again, we might find out that Martians were the Atlanteans.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Anyways, thank you, everyone. Remember, like and subscribe. Bye.